Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the new swimming season. Got a lot of things that we're going to go through tonight, and kind of a review of sorts about some of the processes and such, but a lot of the things are going to be specific to what this season entails and what to look forward to, and some of the things that are new and different. And then some of the things are a little review for those of you that have been with the program for a while. New parents, I will go through things pretty quickly tonight. However, Thursday, I'll have a presentation geared specifically to new swim parents for Occoquan Swimming to go through some more of the deeper explanations of policies and procedures, training philosophies, competition philosophies, some of the billing and invoicing, and things like that. So stand by if you're a new parent with some of that deeper inside of stuff. I will also share everything that I'm going to talk about tonight. I'll send it out tomorrow with these slides as well as the video, so you can go back and review it or share it with parents that aren't here, so that you're all up to date with what's going on. So without further ado, let's get started here. Before we do though, I do want to say this is very exciting this year, first time in 3 years since we're starting up a season without any concern, or at least very little concern about COVID. And it's kind of exciting to know that we have a season planned and things are for the most part all set, and we don't have any fear of losing things. However, if we do, as you know from previous years, and those of you guys that are new, we've got an incredible staff, and we've got the ability to pivot and change directions if we need to, based on anything that life throws at us. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to go through a real quick overview of things, kind of the group goals and focuses. Again, not going to go too deep into those. I'll save a lot of that for the new parent meeting. We'll talk about the events, some of the big swim meets coming up, and kind of what to plan for specific groups. I do want to go through just so everybody's kind of review, but also kind of make sure everybody's on the same page with our safety policies and such. I'll talk a little bit about volunteering, fundraising, and then something new this year with USA Swimming and the membership that every person will need to do. Real quickly, not going to go into detail about myself, but one of the things that kind of differentiates our Occoquan Swimming from other teams is that I grew up in a small fishing village, and one of the emphasis that I try to keep with our program here is that we are a small organization, or at least want to feel like we're a part of a small organization, kind of a small town feel. Growing up in a small fishing village, that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about it, was that every family was in it together. And if something went wrong, or there was challenges to be faced, everybody pulled together and worked together to overcome some of those things, and also to help teach everybody about some of the things that are out there. So I know there was a politician a long time ago that said it takes a village, and in some ways that's true, that we're all in this together to help develop these swimmers that we have into amazing people, athletes, and citizens and students throughout their future. Some of the things also that kind of go along with that, we're being a smaller organization, as far as the way we want to feel is that we're humble, but we are fierce. When we are threatened, we all come together and fight together. We're also kind. We're caring, we're sharing, we volunteer a lot, we take care of a lot of the little things, but at the same time, we're competitive. We want to win, we want to be the best, and we want to do things right towards that excellence approach. And then we also feel like we're a smaller organization, but we have amazingly big results. And based on those of you that have been at the program for a while, you know that we show up to these big meets and we have a lot of success, we have a lot of fun. And we make a very big showing amongst some of the very large organizations in the area. Bottom line is that no other team in this area can compare to the atmosphere we have, the family that we create, and the success that we put together throughout the course of the season. Again, not going to go into detail, but just know that the decision-making process that we have with our coaching staff and our board of directors is all based on striving towards excellence. Our mission and our vision of what we're trying to work for or work towards, we're trying to create the best environment to create the best results possible. We also we focus on the priorities, our values that we have in making sure that the decisions that we make are in line with these, but also that the athletes, the coaches, and even all the parents in the organization understand that we have values. We respect each other. We have high integrity. We're positive in terms of helping and supporting each other. We have purpose in what we do, and there's a reason for what we do. We have great leadership amongst the coaches and the staff and the leaders that we have as in volunteer positions and in helping this organization continue to get stronger. And then we have a relentlessness that we're always striving to get better, always striving to do the best that we can as a staff, as athletes, and helping to create success. Priorities, always keep it in line with long-term development. And we have a holistic approach. We're not just looking to create amazing athletes, but we're also looking to create or help support academic success as students, and also making the right decisions as citizens and making choices that can be supportive or are supportive to the community. Our coach education we commit to as far as helping the coaches and make sure that they're well educated in what they know and what they're able to teach to the kids. Then our parent education, continually trying to give as much information about what we do and what we're trying to teach the kids as possible. And we've got a lot of coaches that have tremendous amount of experience in the sport, and not just as coaches, but also as parents and as parents of swimmers that they've seen grow up and go on to have success in their careers and whatnot. A little bit about Occoquan Swimming as a corporation. We've evolved over the past few years in what we used to just be a competitive team, and that was our number one thing. It continues to be our number one thing, and everything that we do and we've added over the past few years supports that and continues to drive the financial support and the careers and things like that to be able to help the swimmers have a positive and the most up-to-date information and education and training equipment available to them. So our other things that we do, we have swimming lessons, which is our entry into the sport. We've got a number of kids that go through Central Park Aquatic Center. We also have a couple of outdoor pools that we did lessons in this past summer. We have non-competitive groups that are, again, another entry level into the sport and trying to introduce what it's like to be a part of a swim team. In hopes that eventually they'll want to become part of the competitive aspects of our program. Pool management, and this started back in COVID and even a little before that too with Central Park Aquatic Center, but in summer pools and trying to make sure that pools stay open and are well staffed and also taken care of and given opportunities to our athletes to even have jobs and utilize their skills that they have as swimmers to lifeguard and things like that. Facility rentals, we rent out our facility to outside organizations, teams. We have scuba, physical therapy, things like that come through our facility here during the daytime. We do Red Cross training. In fact, during COVID, we had over 500 lifeguards get trained here at our facility. We continue to do that and provide that as a service. Meet management. We host a number of competitions throughout the year, and including our live stream system that you'll see if you're a new member to the team. You'll see that although not all of our facilities have great ability to be able to watch the meets in person, our live stream is second to none, high definition, has all the results and things like that on it, and coaching staff does a great job with keeping that updated. And new for this year, we're taking over management of the Riptide Swim Shop, and more information will be coming out about that. But we're excited to integrate some of the things that Riptide Swim Shop is doing, and be able to provide more services directly to Occoquan Swimming members as well through that. We are a nonprofit organization. Each parent of the year-round competitive program with an account in good standing is a member of the organization. The board of directors oversees myself. I'm the CEO and the head coach of the organization and the overall organizational intent. The CEO, myself, I oversee the daily operations, including the coaching staff, and make sure that we're following the right means to accomplish our strategic plans for the organization. Then we have, we'll talk about is about the coaches and how amazing they are and all that they do throughout the course of a regular day. This is our board of directors. Again, it's a board that helps to ensure that we're following the policies and procedures, and also moving towards our vision and mission within the organization. They do a great job of helping me through my job, as well as directing and helping the whole organization stay on top of things. A couple of administrative people. Hannah Dean helps kind of in charge of the billing and payment processing. Also, you can contact her for membership account maintenance with Team Unify, and then also for helps with marketing and some of the sponsorship stuff that we do. Kelly Call, and both of these people, you probably have gotten emails in the past few days regarding some things. Kelly's main number one role, or two roles. Number one is with membership questions, anything you have regarding groups and things like that. And then apparel and team gear. As you come through CPAC, you'll see her here for passing out the team gear and making sure that all the kids have everything that they need for the training. Anything they don't help you with, I'll be happy to help you with, or we have a whole bunch of other coaches that are there to support and help you guys as members, as well as the kids being athletes. We do have the most amazing coaching staff, as far as what they're able to teach and inspire on a daily basis with the kids that they work with. And throughout the whole program, they're cooperative, they're hardworking, and they sacrifice a lot to be on the pool deck late at night, early in the morning, and over a lot of long weekends to support the swimmers' goals and aspirations. No matter who's coaching a specific group, all of the coaches are well trained and have all the tools needed to provide success. We also work together very well as a group. And making sure that all the groups kind of help to move towards the vision of the team, as well as helping each individual kind of progress throughout the groups. Competitive program outline. We have 4 different levels, and you probably saw this as you were registering and kind of understand all this, but so I'm not going to go into much detail. I will talk a little bit more about this with the new parents meeting on Thursday. But the 4 different levels we have are the build program, which is focusing on mainly the medley program, which is building the foundations of the sport. Growing which is building on those foundational skills and getting a little bit more fitness into it, and adding a little bit more complex skills to the trade there. To our Excel programs, which are all the junior Olympic programs, and then our leadership programs, which are the senior high school level programs that we offer. So again, your coaches will go through a lot of this stuff with the goals of the group and what the intent is and what they're working towards. So I'm not going to go into this in too much detail. Again, this will be in the slides there, but I didn't want to bore you too much with all that, but just know that there's a lot of information that goes into creating the practice groups and their goals throughout the season and what they're working towards. It should be very clear with the coaches' meetings. Practice schedule. There are some adjustments that have been made in the past couple of days, and I'll send out a full practice schedule tomorrow to kind of update everybody on that. Generally speaking, what that practice schedule is will be kind of the gist of the whole season. There are some changes that'll happen during high school season, and as we get closer, we'll know what that looks like. We don't get our lane allocations until usually late October or beginning of November, just before high school swimming season starts. So some of those changes, especially at Colgan High School at Prince William County Aquatics Center there, they tend to change quite a bit. So as soon as we know, we will get that out to you, and hopefully it doesn't adjust things too much off of what it is right now. But also keep in mind that on the news splashes that we send out, that's the main schedule for the week. If there's any other adjustments that need to be done based on the coaches' requests or things that happen with the facility, generally those will come out as soon as possible. But we are at the mercy of pools and places that we rent from. So just realize that we will adjust as we go with weather and things like that. Keep you updated. Our event schedule, again, it is kind of relieving knowing that COVID for the most part is gone, and we don't have to worry about what could be and how the changes could affect our meet schedule. So we're very confident in what we're going to be able to offer this fall. Um, you'll see in this diagram here the different levels within the program: the medley group, the advanced group, the JO programs up on top, the senior select, and NTG. Those are all hopefully to help you kind of direct which meets your summer should go to. With that being said, some coaches may have some adjustments with which meets to go to, so we'll keep that in mind. But again, I'll send a nice outline out that should give you a nice direction of which meets your summer should be looking to attend. Specifically in the fall, our early season meets focus on the opportunity to provide a variety of events. These first few meets, we host all of them. There's not a ton of other teams that show up to them until that fall fest, which gives us the opportunity to make sure that the kids swim all the different events that they're ready for. So the way that this works is that the first meet is a free fartlek. It's just a freestyle, different distances and different speeds and whatnot. But for the most part, there's an offering of a 25 freestyle for 8 and unders, and then a 50, 100, 200, and 500 freestyle for just about everybody else that's ready. Again, depending on which group you're in, you'll be given a recommendation from your coach as to which events to swim. But that's the first meet of the season, our first official meet of the season, that provides the opportunity to get official USA swimming times. Our goal, again, in the fall is to get a variety of the events, the IMR, which is the individual medley ready, and the IMX, which is the individual medley extreme, and the distance events. And for new parents, I'll go into more detail about what IMR and IMX mean and what that looks like with the whole scheme of things for a career. But there's 12 to 14 events that are offered depending on which age they are. And by the time they get done with the medley mayhem, they'll have all the 25s if they're 8 and under. Or if they're 12 and under, they'll have a 50 fly, 50 back, 50 breast, 100 IM. 13 and overs will have 100 fly, 100 back, 100 breast, and a 200 IM available to them. And then the medley extreme gives the longer events. 12 and unders are the hundreds of each stroke and the 200 IM, and the 13 and overs the 200s of each stroke and the 400 IM. And then the full events are offered at the Fall Fest. The Fall Fest is kind of an opportunity to tune up for the championship meets that I'll talk about here in a second, or fill in some of those events that maybe they missed or they want to redo from the fall. So by the time we get through November, swimmers that are ready for the events, and again, coaches will kind of determine which kids are ready for which level of events and whatnot. But at least there'll be one opportunity for all the kids to be able to perform with all those events throughout there. Winter events. So December, we have an opportunity to go to a championship style meet. And we got 3 different meets that we're going to be attending. There's the Stingrays Winter Champs, which is down at Stafford. And there's the West Virginia Winter Champs that we'll go to. Last year was the first year there, and we're going to return there. And our national training group will go to a Pro-Am meet out in Texas. Once January comes, we kind of split into different directions. There's a lot of high school meets going on. So a lot of high school swimmers will take a little bit of back off of the competition for us. They'll still train with us, but they'll focus on some of the high school swimming. Whereas everybody else, all the younger swimmers, we have a Winter Wonderland, which is, we'll have some short events there, but also the opportunity to qualify for the January IMX games. And then once we get to February, we all come back together. There's an opportunity for everybody to swim at the President's Day Classic, which is always a fun prelims finals meet. There's a pentathlon there and things like that. Again, lots of information, and it'll be much more detailed within each of their groups that they're swimming at each one of those meets. So again, going into March, kind of more championship meets, and a lot of these, or most of these, have criteria to qualify for, whether it's qualifying time or different levels within the program. And again, just noting which meet is assigned to the level that your swimmer's in. There'll be some opportunities there to attend at least a couple of competitions in the fall there, or in the spring for most everybody. Then the summertime, again, keep on going. We've got a couple time trials. It's a little early to tell what everything's going to look like in July and August yet, but for the most part, Potomac Valley Swimming will have their championship meets. And in August, we've got ISCA meets and junior nationals that come up there. Activities that'll come about, you'll see that there's going to be some social opportunities for your swimmers and potentially even for parents, starting with the team meetings or group meetings that you're going to have with your coaches here shortly. Some of those in person, some of those are online, but again, an opportunity to get to know everybody and see what the coach is all about, and also connect and make sure you got some of those details of what to expect. In addition to that, they may be asking for some help. There's always an opportunity to add more little fun things for the kids to bond together, work together outside of the pool. A lot of times we get everybody in the pool and it's all good and fun, but it's nice to get away from the pool and do some fun activities, whether it's hiking or a bowling opportunity or hike or climbing or things like that they've done in the past. So again, if you're good at that kind of stuff and want to let your coach know, I'm sure they'll be asking for some help with creating some social events and such for your groups. Safety policies and procedures. Safe sport. First of all coaches, officials, lead volunteers, and 18 and over athletes are required to take the safe sport certification course. So if you're one of those, if you have not already, you will get a notice that that needs to be updated on a yearly basis. And there's some, the courses kind of go into a renewal phase once you've taken the first step. All parents of swimmers are highly encouraged to take the Safe Sport course for parents. There's one specific to parents. And then all athletes 13 to 17 years old are highly encouraged as well to take that. And both of those are educational. There's no certification for it, but by having our team, and again, this is why it's highly encouraged, the more people we have that are knowledgeable about the safety policies and how to prevent any injuries and things like that to the kids, and to make sure the relationships between the adults and the athletes is professional. The more people that we have that can take that course, the more safe we all feel, and the better our organization is. We are Safe Sport certified, or at least we are through 2021, but in order to, or 2022, in order to renew that, we've got to have a lot of parents and a lot of athletes be able to take the course. So I'll be sending out more information about what that looks like, but please, as much as possible, please add that to your list of things to do with your swimmer or your athlete. It's required for any swimmers that are 18 and over, but everybody else is highly encouraged to take that. Minor athlete abuse prevention policies just help to ensure the communication interactions between adults and minors are safe and open and appropriate. These include interactions as you with a parent member towards any other minor athletes on the team, including if they're your friends, kids, things like that. We want to make sure that there's a nice, clean, and open communication. More details will be sent out here, and you'll get a lot more information about that. But essentially, every parent member needs to acknowledge their understanding and adherence to these policies. So you'll see that in the first couple of swim meets. There'll be an opportunity to sign something there to acknowledge that you understand and will adhere to those policies as a volunteer. Bowling prevention. Again, we only know what we see or what we hear from others. So again, our priority is to keep everybody safe and certainly have a friendly, caring environment for all of our members. And so if bullying does occur, or anything like bullying, or any issue that could be related to somebody using their status or presence over somebody else as domineering or any other way, please don't be afraid to let us know, let somebody know, so that we can address it and prevent it from happening any further. Facility policies. Parents are welcome to watch practices at any time. Other than or facilities other than Central Park. So Central Park, we operate and take care of ourselves. But other than that, the other facilities all have their own policies. As you walk in, just please let them know that you're a parent of a swimmer with Occoquan Swimming, so they don't think you're just walking in to use the facility, whether it's trying to do weightlifting or swimming. If you want to do those things, you got to become a member of those facilities. Here at Central Park, we don't necessarily always have someone checking who's coming in, so just proceed right onto the pool deck. You're welcome to come and watch practices. Here at Central Park, just refrain from sitting in the areas that swimmers will be setting their gear. A lot of time the coaches will have meetings, so if you're going to be on the pool deck, try to keep the noise down so that they can have a meeting with their kids without having too much outside information or outside communication going on. And then, as always, and we'll talk a little bit more about this with the new parents, but try not to coach or communicate with your swimmer during practices unless it's an emergency. The priority of the coaches is going to be on focusing on the kids and trying to teach the kids. And if there's a distraction of somebody else trying to communicate, whether it's through hand signals or trying to talk to their swimmer while the coach is trying to give them instructions or teach them something, becomes very difficult. If you can imagine if a school of 24 kids, if all 24 of those parents were outside the door, putting hand signals and trying to tell their child what to do in their school classroom, it'd be chaos. It'd be very difficult for the teacher to get much done. And it's the same thing for coaches. Although we let you on the pool deck and you're welcome to come to the pool deck to watch your kid at any time, we just ask that you give yourself some separation from your athletes so that they can learn from the coach and be focused on the coach throughout the course of the practice time. After practice, we'll talk about that in a second, but please do come into the facility to get your swimmer unless you have a specific plan to get them dressed and out the facility on their own. And for most returning swimmers that have been around for a while, you kind of know what that looks like, and getting the kids out the door so that you're not waiting here for an hour for them to take a shower and you're coming in and trying to figure out where they're at. So drop off in the pickup. First of all, don't wait in the fire lines for your swimmer to exit the building. And I know a lot of times at these facilities, especially Freedom and Warrenton, I'll get emails from the facility staff asking people not to line up in those fire lanes. I know it's convenient, especially when the weather's poor, but when it's dark out and there's kids going between cars to get across the street, it's very dangerous in there. There's a lot of cars coming both directions and all sorts of things. So encourage you to find a place to park. And if you want to walk into the facility to get your swimmer, or just wait there close by the exit of the facility, or let your swimmer know where you're going to be parked and kind of connect that way. But please try not to wait in those fire lanes as you're coming out of the facility. Also, make sure you drive very slowly. Here at Central Park, we have a clockwise, there's some lines on the ground. They're kind of hard to see and not everybody follows them, but if you go a clockwise direction around the median there, makes it for a lot cleaner entry and exit. Again, if you're stopping, waiting for your swimmer to come out of the door, creates quite a traffic jam outside of the building. So I do ask that you try to park and then wait for your swimmer to come to you. You can walk to them as much as possible. And then also make sure your kids understand to watch for cars very carefully as they're coming in and out of the building. We do share the parking lot with another business here, but also American Disposal. They're usually leaving our parking lot around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but sometimes they're not as careful when they're driving through our parking lot as much as we tell them and ask them to be. So just be very careful as you're walking through and watch for cars both directions. And then finally, don't park in the handicap parking spots. Those are specifically for handicapped people as they're coming in and leaving the facility. Facility policy. So we don't control our other facilities or practice that. So there's going to be a lot of other adults and other people using the locker rooms with the minors as they're getting changed. Our recommendation is have a process outlined for your swimmer to get changed quickly and discreetly and dry off and cover up or just dry off and cover up and go home. So instead of using the locker rooms and spending a whole lot of time in there, our recommendation is to have a process for your child just to dry off, put a parka on, and jump in the car and then head back home, take a shower at home if you need to. Here at Central Park, we're bound by the USA Swimming policies that discourage the mix of adults and minors in the locker room at the same time. So we ask that if you need to help your swimmer get changed, please use the family changing rooms, not the locker rooms. We discourage the use of the locker rooms with adults in there, and that's generally why we have just youth programs here in the evening times when there's lots of people. Other policies, they're all on the website. And again, I'll go through a few more of those with new families, but you're always welcome to take a look at those and see what those are all about as questions come up with those. Volunteering. Again, one of the things that Occoquan Swimming is known for is having an amazing group of volunteering parents, people that are willing to help out at swim competitions is probably the biggest need that we have, whether it's a timer, official, hospitality officials, marshals, computer operations, and things like that. In Potomac Valley Swimming and even USA Swimming, we're known for having a ton compared to the number of swimmers we have of officials. And we do that because one of the reasons is because we emphasize it quite a bit. If you have any interest in becoming an official, I'll tell you, it's a great way to get involved and also experience the sport of swimming from a whole different perspective. There's no experience necessary. All the training is going to be offered. It's all online. I don't think they have any in-person ones anymore, so it's all done online. There's open book tests and they kind of learn about, but there are some benefits. First of all, you're volunteering your time, so it's a tax deduction for you if you itemize your deductions there. There's a family incentive for Occoquan Swimming. If you volunteer a certain number of sessions throughout the course of the season, then you can get $300 off your tuition for next year. If 2 people do that in a family, that's $600 off of tuition for next year. There's also a great group of other amazing parents that you get to be a part of and get to learn and meet and learn from. There's also opportunities to travel to national meets, and then leadership opportunities. We have actually our meet referee, our only meet referee right now, I believe, although I think I've got one or two more that are on the cusp of it. Doesn't have any swimmers on Occoquan Swimming anymore, but he continues to be a part of our organization to help us run meets. We can't do our meets without him as the meet referee. He's also the Potomac Valley Swimming representative to the board of directors for the officials. So he's worked his way up and he's got a great leadership position within the area association. And currently he doesn't have a swimmer on his team because they've all graduated from high school and whatnot. Fundraising. As a nonprofit organization, we do a little bit of fundraising. Some of it is to offset the costs that we have as a program, but we're moving more of our fundraising towards capital efforts, towards building more pools and having more access to pools and things like that. So there'll be more information that comes out about that. Our fall fundraising here will kick off shortly. And then we have a spring fundraising opportunity that's a raffle slash, I guess it's a raffle online. And then we also have ongoing fundraising, which is through our sponsorships and advertisements that we have partnerships with local businesses. This is the one thing that for everybody that's new this year, there's a new process, and I kind of outlined it a little bit in the registration process, but I know it was kind of buried deep in there a little bit, but every family will need to register within USA Swimming. First of all, don't start the process yet. I'll send instructions. In fact, they don't want returning members to do this until probably closer to October, November. Your deadline is December 31st, so we have a little bit of time on that. But the process will be that you'll need to register yourself. Then you add your athletes into there. If you're a returning member, it'll connect you to those athletes, and the athlete will get a brand new registration number. So you'll see what your old one was, but then also there'll be a new one that gets populated for them. And then there's also a cost to this, and this was built in, and this was not built into our registration, so it's going to be passed on directly to USA Swimming for these. $30 for swimmers that may be competing in just 2 events. This is a flex membership. or a light membership, if you will. It's a full membership, just only offers 2 competitions throughout the year. So it might be good for medley type level swimmers. Certainly for kids that are 8 and under, be a good way to kind of get your foot wet and save a couple bucks. And then for everybody else, the $96 is the premium membership, basically for everybody else to swim, in more than 2 events for the year, 2 swim meets for the year. What's next? Hopefully your coach, if they have not already, they will very shortly get to you about a group meeting to meet your coach and kind of talk about the season and some of the things that will happen the first couple of days of practice. We have our gear pickup here at Central Park, and you'll be able to come in and pick up your t-shirts and also purchase kickboards, things like that you'll need for the first day of practice. And then again, a little more deeper talk about some of the insights of Occoquan swimming on the Zoom call that'll be on Thursday, September 8th. So preseason practices continue this week. We've got JO12, JO14, and Senior Select and National Training Group that are training right now. And then everybody else starts up normal practice times next week. Again, I'll send out the full practice schedule with a couple little changes, and then also line up, and so you know who to contact for the coaching staff. But other than that, buckle up. It is a long season, but it can come pretty quick if you're not ready. And just for those new families out there that are coming just fresh out of Prince William Swim League type stuff or Summer League stuff. Summer League is like a sprint. It's very short. There's swim meets every weekend. We're more of a marathon. We take a little bit more time to learn the skills, build on the fitness aspects, and then we have competitions spread out throughout the course of the year. So with that, I see there's at least one question here. Let me see if there's any other questions. If you want to type those into the chat, I will answer them for the good of the group here. Question is, if you've taken Safe Sport as a coach for another activity, does that extend to Occoquan swimming? I don't believe so. However, let me check on that because they were supposed to try to connect things, and there may be a way to do that, but I don't know if that's possible just yet. I do know that concussion training, things like that, will carry over. But Safe Sport, I think, is specific to swimming, but I'll get back to you on that, the person that asked that. Is it possible to move up groups in the middle of the season? Yes, in fact, there's a couple factors that go into it, and moving up at different levels throughout the season. First and foremost is there space. We can't, there are some programs that get a little bit tight with the number of kids that are in there, but we do have opportunities, especially from the medley group into the advanced, and from the advanced into the advanced and JO prep into the JO programs to possibly get in there. And again, it is based on space and availability, and also the coaching staff knowing that there's someone new coming in the group and everybody agreeing to make that move. And yeah, for the meet schedule, I will send it out tomorrow. It'll be a full alignment of that. It is in the news splash, but I'll outline it with which groups should be going to which swim meets as we go there too. And yes, I will share this PowerPoint with you. I'll send it out tomorrow morning once the video is uploaded off of Zoom. I will upload the video and the PowerPoint and put it in PDFs and share it with everybody. And our definition of required, it depends on what that is. I mean, as far as required, the interpretation of that would be certainly based on what's best for the athlete. If there's a requirement, it usually means that for the good of the individual athlete or the good of the group, there's an expectation that they participate in it or are part of it. So if there's ever a question as to why or a specific event or what might be coming up for a required aspect, certainly reach out to the coach and ask what that means. There's always going to be, and this is one of the things too that kind of differentiates what we're trying to do. Yes, we have our expectations and we have what we think is best, but each of you as parents certainly has the final say. Certain groups have requirements and expectations. And if that group or that expectation doesn't line up with what you're looking for, then there's usually either other groups to go into, or potentially, we can work around things and provide some other options for your athlete there. So, that would be an individual coach request or question there too. And dryland schedule. We're still working on some of the details on that, but I think we have things lined up as of this morning. So hopefully have that final schedule. Your coaches, if you're in a group that has dryland, they should have the details on that, and they'll be able to share that with you as well coming up in their meetings. JO Prep doesn't start practices, and JO 10, those are the two JO programs, as well as the Medley, Advanced, and Senior groups. They start practices next week, so their first practice will be on the 12th. Registering for meets, probably a new parent question, and I'll go through that on Thursday of how to register for those. Very similar if you're part of Prince William Swim League swim teams, or most summer league teams that are part of Team Unify. Be very similar to signing up for that. Generally speaking, the coaches will provide an outline of what the athletes should be doing in specific groups. And then from there, you as a parent will have the opportunity to go in and sign up for that event. So again, based on your schedule and whether it lines up with your other activities going on, you go in and register for those events that the coach recommends, or if they don't recommend anything, just say sign up for whatever you like. Talk to your swimmer and kind of come up with a plan on that. But generally, coaches are going to give you a good outline of what to sign up for. The swim membership for USA Swimming, that's per swimmer actually. So yeah, that $30 or $96 is per swimmer. Parent members there's no requirement to register and pay anything. But if you're going to be a lead volunteer, you're part of the administrative team, things like that, there will be an official. There is a charge on those. And generally speaking, if you're like a chaperone, you would need to register that way and go through some process. Occoquan Swimming will pay for that as a parent, but yeah, that charge is per swimmer. If you have not heard from your child's coach, you should in the next day or two. We did just make some final coaching decisions based on where groups are and whatnot. So some of them have been delayed, and I apologize for that. Yeah, for the most part, you should have heard from them. If not, in the next day or two, you'll get a note from them to introduce themselves and also schedule a meeting to get to know you a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah, if you were told for evaluations, we certainly wanted all the swimmers to be evaluated just to make sure they're in the right groups. We use the first couple of weeks of practices just to make sure everybody's in the right group. So regardless of whether you've had an evaluation by now or not, show up to the group you've signed up for. If there's an outlying reason to move your swimmer to another group, we can do that, but there's no reason to go through another process of doing an evaluation. So yeah, you should be fine. And if a coach made a recommendation for a group, a specific coach from our staff for a specific group within our program, very high probability that they're in the right group. Coaches generally know where to put the kids. And again, I'll send a list out of the coaches assigned to each group just to make sure that there's no confusion on that. And I'll send it out tomorrow morning once I get all this information all processed. I'll send out the final coaching assignments and a contacting email just in case you haven't had a chance to get to know them yet. All right, any other questions or anything else for anybody? Let's see. All right, I think that's all. All right, thank you all very much, and look forward to seeing you guys very soon. If not here at CPAC during the pickup stuff, we'll see you sometime around the pool during practices and swim competitions and such. But thank you very much for coming on, and thank you for joining the program. We look forward to a great season with you guys a part of it. So other than that, you guys all have a great evening.